Good evening. I'm Chanel, Vehicle Title Expert. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you in advance for subscribing. So tonight I will be talking about three key points pertaining to private auto sale transactions. 3 points you really want to keep in mind before you decide to sign on that dotted line or hand over any cash regarding this transaction with private parties. Okay. Before I get into those points, let me just share when it comes to private auto sale transactions, there is little to any recourse available to you from the DMV and from law enforcement. In the event things go south, in the event, things do not work out as you had hoped or what you were told from the seller of the vehicle you're buying, and you go to the DMV and law enforcement, they will tell you it's a private matter, it's a civil matter, and essentially that means you will have to go to court with the hopes that you're going to get some sort of recourse. Okay, the DMV mainly put their emphasis when it comes to title regulations and things of that nature on dealerships or dealership to consumer transactions. Now, it doesn't mean the DMV does not care. It doesn't mean that they're not going to help, but it puts them in a shaded area because again, you are a private party. Okay, so they're not going to offer you a whole lot of guidance or recourse, but essentially they'll tell you to reach back out to the person who sold you the vehicle. Okay. With that being said, the first thing I really want you guys to focus on and think about is that paperwork, including the title from the seller. Is that seller giving you the proper title? Are they giving you the proper paperwork? Is everything completed from them? Okay, to you. Make sure you have what you need. If not, when you go to the DMV, the likelihood if you're getting rejected is going to be very high. Okay, so think about that before you move forward. The second thing you want to think about is in the event there is a lien on the vehicle, are you willing to pay that balance off before you acquire the vehicle? Are you willing to do that? Now, I know some of you may be thinking, well, that's weird. Why am I going to buy a vehicle if there's a lien? Okay, but I do get this question from time to time. People will call and say, Chanel, I want to buy this vehicle, but it has a lien on it. What should I do? What's your suggestion or what have you? That is your call to make. Okay, that's your call to make. What will happen though is you guys will reach out to that lien holder in question to see what the balance is, depending on the lien holder, depending on what move they're in, depending on, if the balance, is a lot or is little. It really depends on different, factors. That lien holder may want to deal with you regarding that transaction, or they may not want to. And really, they don't have to. So, depending on how much is owed, depending on did a customer pay, them on time every month, those are factors the lien holder will be looking at. But again, is this something that you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with the lien holder? Do you want to pay that balance? Do you want to deal with that? That's a question you guys will have to decide, okay, before you move forward. And the third thing is, are you prepared to move the vehicle from point A to point B until you can get the vehicle titled and registered? Are you willing to make the necessary preparations, planning the steps, etc., to get that vehicle moved from point A to point B? Now, the DMV, they do not offer temp tags or transport tags to individuals. Temp tags and transport tags come from the dealership. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, depending on your state, at best, depending on your state, you may be able to get what's called a temporary trip permit. And a trip permit, or trip permit actually, is only allowing you to move from point A to point B on a short period of time so that you can, get the vehicle moved enough for you to get it titled and registered. That's what a trip permit is in this type of circumstance. So at best, again, you might be able to get that. And if not, then, you're going to have some other plans in place to, move that vehicle from point A to point B. So these 3 points that I share, they can be complex, depending on your situation. But I really want you guys to think about this, because if you think about these matters after you have purchased a vehicle, you might find yourself in a limbo. You may find yourself having to put out hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to handle the transaction after you buy the vehicle. So before you sign on that dotted line, before you hand over that cash, think about these 3 points I shared on tonight. If you want to share your feedback or you have any questions, drop me a line below or visit me at wisdomandauthority.com. Check me out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Click share and subscribe. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.